Welcome to Colorflow Conversations. I am Uakeisha, and this is. You ain't say your name this time.
Because in my mind, I'm already thinking about how I be singing it. It's Tikisha.
Oh, look, I'm like, what you say? I'm just waiting on you to sing your name. This is so funny. Listen, we welcome you all back. We are like more casual today.
Yeah, I can't even say my name. I'm so relaxed.
Way relaxed. At first, your shoes was off, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
put them
wondering.
on.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna keep them off. I'm like, oh, she's feeling real comfortable today because you had the shoes off and everything. So I was like, okay, girl. But welcome back. We hope you all have watched our last 20 episodes. We are now into 21 episodes. I think we just released, and we are moving along. We thank you for subscribing. We thank you for watching. We thank you for listening. And most of all, we thank you for sharing with friends if you've been sharing. And we are like reaching again other places. What you think about that, friend?
That's exciting.
It is.
I was like, okay, UK, okay, Canada.
Yeah, it's when you put yourself out there publicly, it's not always easy because you don't know what people are going to think. And when you do something like this, you really got to trust God and just go with believing that you're doing what's right.
Yeah, and the extra little level or step with us is it's not any editing.
No.
So it can't be like, oh,
cut
that, change that. We just really
we go
in
with
here
the flow.
really having our girl talk, putting it all out there and some stuff. It's just like, oh, dang, I said that.
Yeah, we no editing. So we done had some bloopers on things that we probably meant to say another way, but I believe the messages get across.
I agree.
Well, this week was an important week for both of our sons.
Yes.
Because your son had a birthday yesterday, and my son graduated from high school on 2 days ago.
How do you feel?
You know what? I will say that this transition with my son into young adulthood is a bit challenging for me. More challenging than I thought it would be. Because I think one thing that I am trying to do, which I know it wasn't done for me again, and I had a great childhood. I was raised, I feel like, in a great home. I don't know if specific things were taught or I was trained for certain things. I am trying to do that differently so my children are more prepared for life. I wasn't taught about finances and thing or credit or even job interview or resumes or things like that. But also because my parents were from the South, they didn't go to college. My mother graduated from high school. My father did not because he had to work in the fields, Mississippi. So they did absolutely wonderful for my generation of time. But I think now we live in a time where you really need to train your kids and prepare them more for life. And it's challenging with me.
Not to cut you off, but I honestly, personally feel like the school system does a disservice without including those type of classes in the core curriculum.
Absolutely, and
it needs
agree.
to be an extra step with mathematics.
Yes, absolutely,
because that's finances right there.
Yeah, I mean, you see, when you got here today, my son, because he graduated, he's home, and went to the bank and took care of his business, and he came in and was telling us stuff. That's because I'm like literally going step by step on things that he needs to do so that he does not make financial mistakes that I made or that a lot of people make from probably, what are we, Gen Z, Gen X? I don't know. Because we didn't know.
Gen X.
Yeah, like we literally sat down as he prepared for college. He has a full scholarship for school, but he wants to stay in a dorm. So that has to be paid for. So we literally sat down with different people, advisors, and learn what it is that he needs to do to not be in debt because of a dorm when he get out of school. And
because that's defeating the purpose when you get a full ride.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose. So we've literally sat down and had meetings because I didn't go to university, so I don't know a lot, and I'm okay with being like I don't know. So I I don't want my children to be in debt. I don't want you to go to school you know us. We want our kids to live a relaxed life. So I want him to go have this experience and not worry about it. So what's the best way to go about it without letting that be in the back of your mind? Like, oh, I'm gonna have this.
Accumulating all this debt.
I'm accumulating it. So it's a challenge because he may have ideas, and I'm like, well, I'm older, so I know this more. So some stuff you got to let go and let him learn. And then other things, he'll come back and listen, and be like, you was right.
Yeah, I'll tell you the best advice I ever received, which was from someone who wasn't even a parent, was just letting me know. And this is within the last 2-3 years.
Really?
And Jordan turned 29, was reminding me that it's still his path.
Yes.
And while we have the wisdom that comes with age and experience, it's sometimes that it's just like, I gotta let you fall.
Yeah.
And you get that bruise, and then I'll just be there with, the peroxide and bandage you up.
Yeah.
And as a parent, when you can foresee what's about to happen, it's a struggle.
That's the hard part. That's the hard part for me. But me, my relationship with God, I pray and I talk to God about it. And once I talk to him, I feel better. It'd be like, you know what? It's going to work out. Okay. And, it do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not worried because, again, me, I'm like, it's always going to work out. I'm not worried. We going to always owe somebody something.
Yeah.
You get it when you get it.
You get it when you get it. That's life.
That's life. But, I want him to enjoy these next years of young adulthood because it'll be another transition after college until you a full man now. Now it's, so we going through our lessons, and I'm teaching. I'm in teaching mode. So it's, I'm glad I was never a teacher because I couldn't deal with a bunch of kids.
I couldn't either.
Thank God for y'all teachers because I couldn't. But your son has done well. And I texted him on yesterday on his birthday. And I know he don't really celebrate.
Yeah, that is something that he does not do. He is always receptive of the messages, but like, it's my birthday, a party and all of that. No, that verse that I can't even think of how it goes, but the day of death is more important than the day you're born. I don't know exactly, but Jordan stand on that.
Really?
Yes.
I texted him and I said, happiest birthday to you, Jordan. He said something to me he's never said before. Thank you, God, Mama Keisha. When I say my heart melted, like, oh my God, he said, thank you, God, Mama Keisha. Then my dumb butt gonna text him back like a few minutes later, like, is there anything specifically you want for your birthday since I can't buy you toys anymore, with a laughing emoji? He was done after that. He didn't answer me.
Listen,
because he don't celebrate birthday.
One thing about Jordan, you will be delivered. Okay, you will be delivered. Listen. You will not respond at all. It be the same way with me.
Girl, he was like, not she
like,
he was thinking, not she doing
just
too
like
much.
You did. You took it too far. Like, you took it too far. Like, we was having a moment, now you took it too far, so I ain't got nothing to say.
Jordan, I'm sorry I messed up our moment.
I'm like, that's how he do me. One thing about Jordan, though, is he, it's a word I'm looking for that it's on the tip of my tongue, but he'll do that to you where it'll be like he kind of smooth and suave with it, where just out the blue, you just melt, and it's just like, he like, got him.
Yes, that's exactly how it was. Because I'm like, I wanted to get him a gift, but I honestly didn't know at 29 what would your godchild want. But I also know he does not celebrate birthdays, so to get him a gift for his birthday would be like contradictory to what
people don't realize when they like, oh, you need to, but to me, it's a respect thing.
Yes.
So I feel like I'm disrespecting him by pushing, you need to do something for your birthday because he's turning 29, and me being Me, I'm like, next year you turning 30. We need to, and Jordan looking at me like I got 7 heads. Like, he hasn't celebrated a birthday, I think, since he turned 18.
Wow. And that's where Elijah is now. We celebrating his Jordan turning 29 and Elijah's turning 18, which their ages are so different, but it's such similarities to our stories with them. It's just
similarities
so
in their personalities and the things that Elijah say when I'm here. I'm just like, that's so Jordan. That is so Jordan. And his mannerism with you.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. But girl, speaking of disrespect, and you know, these special occasions this week with birthdays and graduations, I wanted to bring something up to you because I want to know what you thought about this. Because I want to know if I'm wrong, because you know I'm in my I don't care era. Okay. So, and I don't want this to be a surface level podcast where we're talking about just stuff that people be like, this is like that Real Housewives. No, I generally want to know because as I've come into my authentic self and I am trying to respect other people's boundaries as well as mine. So my son has had a prom, graduation, blah, blah, blah. And these are the things that's irritated me. On his prom day, you know, that's a day where mothers are running around like crazy chicken with your head cut off.
I wouldn't know.
I know.
I did not go and Jordan did not either.
Because y'all very similar in that way. And that's not even something that y'all seem to miss. But you know, we like to celebrate stuff still. I after these things, I'm almost feeling like I don't want to because people call you on special days where they know that you're busy asking the most insane questions. So on the day I'm getting my son and his girlfriend, I think I'm doing her makeup for prom. My phone constantly ringing. And at this point in my life, when someone invites me somewhere, one thing I'm going to do is not bug them on that day. I'm going to figure out where I need to be, where I need to go, what time, if I can't find it, I'm going to do something figured out. I'm that person. But I got so many phone calls that day. And one call I'll never forget, somebody called me, was like, is it going to be anybody there my age?
Wait. This is a true story?
Yeah. Yes. Prom day. We're like trying to set up it. My phone constantly ringing, and it's like, is it going to be anybody there my age? And I was like,
okay, so let me just take this. That's just like me knowing that he's going to have an open house and a birthday celebration, and me telling you that I'm going to be there, and I'm asking you, is it going to be anybody that I know that I can talk to while I'm there?
Yeah. It was just crazy to me. But on his graduation day, which was just 2 days ago, you know, prom is over. I done answered them phone calls and answered them whatever. Graduation day, I get a text and it's like, oh, first I was getting a phone call. Then I was getting a text. It's the same person. Then I was getting a text. And it was like, oh, I'm down the street, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is stuff I don't care about. I'm preparing my mind to enjoy my son's graduation. Because at this point, if you don't know where to go, or I'm a figure it out person. And I guess I shouldn't expect everybody to be like me. But I'm not going to call anybody on a day like that. That's like calling somebody on their wedding day, calling the bride. Is the reception at this time?
I wish y'all would call me on my wedding day.
You know what I'm saying? Okay? So I didn't answer the phone. And then I didn't answer the text until later, you know, like, okay, I saw your car was, you know, messed up. Are you okay? They said, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We going on about our day, you know, we're taking pictures, we're celebrating, we're going to eat. And they called me. I didn't answer the phone. Then later in the evening, we get home and I'm resting. They called again. Now, you know me. What has I said? I don't like talking on the phone. I don't. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but I have told this specific person it's always best to text me because even when I'm working, like on a Saturday, anybody who know me know on a Saturday, I'm busy. I can't have a conversation with you. So after not answering the phone the second time, they text me like, you just don't like answering my calls. I won't bother you anymore. I promise. I promise I won't.
So you took this personal about you on today?
And I text them back and I said, this was an important day for me, my son. I don't have time to answer calls and have meaningless conversations today. If you want to know where we at, there are 25 other people that's with us that you can call to ask. I'm talking to teachers. I'm telling students goodbye. And they got mad at me. And I texted them and was like, you know what? This is so immature. I said, this is like a high school, I'm mad at you conversation. Like, I'm like, you need to fix that. Like, if I don't answer the phone, I will call you back. I will call you back. And they never answer back. And I was like, I guess they're, out of my life at least, but they were important to, my kids. But me, I'm like, I don't feel like I was wrong, but I don't feel like you should contact people or send text messages like that on a day that's important to those individuals. You're not
I get upset with human beings because they tend to think that life revolves around them. Sometime as a human being, you need to step out of yourself and put yourself in the other person's shoes and be considerate and respectful. Everything ain't always about you. So if you don't want to talk to me no more because of this, you did better than me, because I think my instant response would have been, okay. Because I know how I feel about my son.
And you know how I feel about mine.
So I know how you feel about yours from firsthand of having the same type of feeling.
Yeah.
And on his graduation day,
yeah.
You think I'm thinking about that? I'm thinking about all of the kids and everybody that's been in his life and the hustle and bustle. But I too am like you, where I'm just gonna figure it out. I just think about, I don't remember where we was going, but I remember a lady was calling you trying to get information. It's just like we had to figure out the same steps and where to go, just like you did.
Just like you.
We had the same amount of information as you. It's not being rude. It's just that I'm sorry if you don't have the same, and I'm gonna call it like it is, level of common fucking sense. I'm sorry. Yeah. But just like I had to figure it out, sometimes you have to figure it out.
I am a figure it out person.
We cannot always hand out the blueprint, the steps to things. Sometimes you're too busy to do that, and you have to be considerate. And all the time, I'm not turning into the person that always have my phone like I used to.
I'm getting away from that too. And that's the thing.
On a special day, just like we talked about, if I'm at dinner, I'm not sitting there scrolling because I'm at dinner with you. I could have stayed home and took care of y'all and ate my food.
Yeah.
So I might not even had a chance to look at the phone. It's just like, I really wish people would be considerate and think of somebody else sometimes. Because sometimes it ain't always.
It's not about.
Yeah. And this isn't a situation where it's just like I'm picking me and I'm putting myself first. This isn't that. It's just like, oh, okay, well, maybe she's not answering because you don't have time. Like, what's that phrase? Benefit of the doubt, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt. It was like you literally got mad at me on my son's graduation day because I wasn't answering the phone, and was like, you just don't like answering the phone for me no more. I won't bother you no more at all. I promise.
Yeah,
and you 55 years old?
I promise. I don't know if it would have been a response or, like I said, or just the okay, because I'm just at my point in life now where it is okay.
It is. And
did I say? And reveal, remove, replace.
Yeah. And I wonder, okay, like, should I apologize?
Apologize for what? For what? If you think you need an apology, whoever you are, growth.
And that was my thing, because I said in my text, like, literally, when people call me, I don't answer, I'm never going to get mad at you for not answering my call.
I'm not going to get mad at somebody. first, I'm for sure not. Because this phone I pay for, regardless of even if somebody else pay for it, because probably somebody else is paying for it. But I'll be wanting to talk. Sometimes I don't even be wanting to text back.
Yeah. And it was such a long day. It was like a long day. They start calling again when I was at home. Like resting, you trying to get in the house and calm down.
But like we said on the last episode, sometimes people just go through stuff and you really don't know what they face throughout the day. And days can be draining.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to unwind and relax by myself. I don't want to talk.
And maybe that person was going through something that day too, because like I said, they was having some car problems. They couldn't make it to the graduation.
Yeah, and that's another thing where it be layers and then it be the gasket and we just blow. And sometimes we blow on people who don't even deserve.
Because I don't think I should have been the person that was getting the calls that day. I think it should have been somebody else in the group.
But I agree. Excuse me. Dang, I do burp on everyone. But I agree. If it is a day that is a special day, and the perfect example was using a bride, like, don't contact me that day.
Yeah.
I didn't even reach out to you at all that day to say, I hope it go good. How did it go? I didn't say shit all day.
We didn't. That's what's funny too. We was talking about that before this started is...
Doesn't mean that I didn't think about you or didn't care.
Yeah, like you wasn't even there.
And I thought about going. Yeah. But when I saw the time, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going. This shit is too early for me.
Maybe we understand each other too much. Because I didn't, if you showed up, I would be like, hey,
you probably would have been like,
hey, girl. But it's just, I don't know. It don't change our relationship. It didn't change your relationship with my son.
He didn't come. Where was you at?
He came in.
Because he sent me, as I said, the thing personally. It wasn't even like through you and I didn't come. It wasn't like you wasn't there. It was just like, hey, Tikisha, like he didn't even just graduate the other day. It was like it didn't even happen. And that's what I was going to tell you too when I was thinking about him and the similarities with Jordan. Jordan is very easygoing for the most part. Like he's not gonna let too much anything bother him, and I do admire him for that. And I don't know, maybe it's part of the makeup as being a woman with the whole emotions and all of that stuff, but it's just like I am really trying to step away from acting out of my emotions. It's not saying that I don't have emotions and that I don't recognize them. But that situation that you spoke of was someone acting from an emotional state without assessing the whole situation before just blowing the gasket. Because it could have been, I could have just stepped back and not gonna say nothing, wait and see, and then, or process. That's why I said people react sometimes when it's just like, sometimes you need to take a step back, process that information, and maybe you'll be enlightened and get another view of things.
It's funny you said that about Elijah and Jordan, because Elijah and I actually had a conversation later that day, and he said to me, all females are emotional. And of course, I debated it. Like, no, they not. We are not the same. But he was like, he stood on that. And he's 17. He was like, all females are emotional. So he does not let a lot of emotional things with females, whether it be me, his sister, his girlfriend, get to him. I know situations with him and my daughter. My daughter is, la, 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 la. And what my son will do to correct it, like if she's saying, Elijah, never do this for me, or Elijah, Elijah listen, and then the very next day, he may say, I'm going to take Gabby to do this because I don't want her to feel that way. He is going to correct it.
I am cracking up because even though I'm getting ready to tell a mother-son situation, I'm Gabby.
Yeah.
Jordan gets something to eat and I'll be like,
you didn't give me nothing.
Yeah. That hurt my feelings. Now I'm sad. And I'm dramatic. So the whole day, Keisha, I'm just so hungry. My stomach pains because you ate without me. And then the next day, or maybe something to be like, well, I got you some ice cream. Like he'll try and do something to correct. That's why I want him to find a good girl.
Yeah.
A good, kind, dedicated, Proverbs 31 virtuous woman. Nobody, just anybody does not deserve
that treatment because he's going to try to correct his wrong.
Exactly. And I don't want either one of them to be clouded by women that's taking advantage of that knows that, because we can be very manipulative.
Yes. Women, this word is used very largely for men, but I know some of the most narcissistic women in ever, and they will take advantage of that. I don't see narcissistic traits in our sons when it relates to men. But I see it in a lot of women now that I know the meaning of it. Of course, I see it with men. I've been involved with narcissists, but when it comes to women, I am close to women that I know are narcissists, and it shows me how to have that, how to coexist with them, because it's not something that can be helped unless they acknowledge it. Unless it's acknowledged. So we hear a lot of women talk about narcissistic men all the time. All the time. But when it comes to narcissistic women, it's almost overlooked.
I agree.
It's almost overlooked.
They exist.
But they exist. And I think I notice it more now because I have a son, and because I notice how he tries to correct his faults. I won't say he's wrong, because I'm not saying if Gabby is saying,
yeah, because we can be spoiled brats.
Yeah.
We can be spoiled brats. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah, but he's going to try to make her feel better. He's going to do what he can as a brother and as a son, because today he ran all my errands. I didn't have to go to the grocery store. He done went and vacuumed out my car today. But he complained about it when I asked him yesterday. I said, tomorrow, because he ain't started working yet. But I was like, I let him relax yesterday. He ain't did nothing. I was like, tomorrow, can you go vacuum out my car? He was like, why I got to vacuum out your car? I said, you complaining about doing something for me? What? I said, and then I want to run down, like, you know how he complained about, I ran down about all the things I do for him. I don't want to hear that. Why you got to say that? You know, we did our banter back and forth. Okay, but this morning he got up, he got my key and said, I'm going to go vacuum out your car. Is there anything else you would like for me to do for you? And instead of me saying no, I was like, yes, I need you to go to the grocery store. But we can learn a lot of that. That's a lesson for me in relationships on how to correct things when you have a disagreement. It's not a big deal. You don't have to hold that anger or I'm mad all day. It takes a little bit to correct it. And I'm learning these lessons as I prepare for whoever, because my son is getting older, and they talk about we treat our sons like our men. I'm not treating him like my man. I'm showing him how to treat a lady. And in the meantime, I'm also learning how to treat somebody. Mm-hmm. And how not to take on narcissistic traits that men don't need. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm also trying to teach my son how to be a gentleman.
How to be a gentleman. And that, you know.
Because he ain't my man.
Yeah, okay. Listen.
I mean, that's my kid, and I'm going to go hard for him. Yeah, but it stopped there.
Yeah, I'm teaching him how to be a gentleman. How to treat.
Because we are going to correct them as necessary.
But and at the same time, I take lessons on, okay, Keisha, that's a lesson for you at the same time, is if you do or say something wrong or something you could have did in a relationship with somebody, whether it be a husband, sister, or whatever, you can correct that. I'm easy. It's easier now for me to make a correction. Whereas holding on to we mad at each other.
Let me ask you something about this correction, and this goes back to what we just talked about. I have two things I want to say. Hopefully I don't forget. The one thing that I want to say, because I too feel like the place where I'm at in my life, I am trying to learn from different situations, no matter who it is. Mm-hmm. So my interactions with my family and friends, random strangers.
Yeah.
But my question is, let's say that person who didn't want to talk to you no more now realizes their faults in the situation. And I don't say fault like it was a right or wrong, but more of a I could have handled this situation differently. Would you be okay with just moving forward with
that person? Yeah. I think it depends on who it is. I think absolutely, because they probably was having a bad day. But if they don't come back, I'm fine with that too. I'm okay with either or. If they come back like I was just having a day, blah blah blah, whatever, I'll be like, we can move on, because I am the release and let it go. I release it either way.
I have a fine line with what I'm about to say, because I have people in my life. We never know who's going to be revealed, removed, and replaced. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if at this mature age in your voice, big ass age in my voice that I am, I don't know if I want to fight for shit no more.
I ain't fighting for it.
Where it's just like, if something happened and I feel like I ain't like the way you moved, I might move and never reappear. Mm-hmm. And I use fighting for it loosely, but it's just like, it's just
if they tried to come back, if it was the same scenario with you.
Yeah, if I'm just like, would I be like, oh, okay, or if I'm be like, you know what, you done showed me a part of you, and I don't even know if I want that shit in my life. So when you said don't talk to me no more, mm-hmm, stand on it.
It's so funny too, because that person has lost a lot of. You have to wonder about people that lose a lot of so-called friends or whatever.
And they talk, I've seen that a lot on TikTok too, even about the people, how they be like people who have a lot of friends. And I think it's levels to that, because you and I, we both know a lot of people, mm-hmm, but when it comes down to who's your friend,
nah. I think people be thinking they're our friends, but there's levels, again, like we are talking about levels, there's levels to friendship. I don't, everybody who may think we're friends, I don't consider a friend or a friendship. I feel like my friendship circle is very small, which I'm sure you do too. I agree. But we know a lot of people. So but I respect even the amount of people I know. I would treat them as a friend. Like, I'm not going to tell their business. I'm not going to talk about them. I respect them as I don't know what the word is.
Let me say something about talking about people, because I can talk about a situation and I can tell you my truth, but that does not mean that I am talking about a person.
Yeah.
Because I don't even need to know who the person is. Are you telling me this situation? We're just discussing how we feel. Like, I don't give a damn who it is.
I know. Yeah, and I ain't even planning to tell you who it is. I'm just talking about the situation, because I'm talking about y'all shouldn't be calling people on important days. That's
right. That was the point of it. But that was the thing where I just think about that, because people think that they be meaning more to people than what they really do.
They do. Even me, I may think I mean more to somebody than what I do.
Yeah, same. When it be like, girl, I ain't even thought about you, and you over there thinking about me. You're putting your energy into something that nobody is even thinking about.
And I think that's where we be getting our feelings hurt, because when it come down to it, I didn't answer that phone call because it ain't this important. It ain't that important to me.
Right.
What was
important? Because right now you're in my this is me. This is my son's day, and that is the most important thing.
That was the most important thing to me, is that I got him there on time, and that me and his sister was there. Everybody else, I ain't care.
You ain't care.
I didn't care. My daddy was calling me, and I stopped answering the phone for him, because I was like, sir, my sister went to this school. You know where it is. Like, come on. Y'all gonna find y'all way. I can't keep answering the phone, because I was almost putting myself in a because I got there early and I was just, I'm now in a mindset where let me reminisce that because this is him crossing over into a new
It's a
leaf.
new, yeah.
It was like,
I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was just a great feeling. I wanted to continue to be in that feeling as it got started. Parents, we were greeting each other, children, everybody's happy. And then, where I gotta go? I don't want to do that. So that's, if I lose somebody about that, I'm okay either way. That's where I'm at in my life. I'm okay either way. And
it's, we say this all the time, like it's not about like being mean, because
I'm not
we
a mean
have people
person
in our lives that we care about, but life happens and shifts happen and you have to deal with it and you have to keep going. My life is not stopping because of another person. I don't know how horrible that may sound, but it's literally not stopping. My mother is deceased and I'm still here and I'm still going. My life is going to stop when my life stops, when his heart stops beating.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that my mother, and you might agree, my mother's passing had a lot to do with me setting boundaries in my life the way I have. Because time waits for nobody. Like, we could be here today and gone tomorrow. Every day, I care about that day. What's happening in that day, in that moment. I'm not worried about, even my son is having an open house Saturday, and somebody asked me, like, is you like real busy? Like, no. Whatever don't happen, don't happen. I am not that I'm about to run around here and there. Whatever don't happen, don't happen. It's really a day of celebration. It's not about me trying to make a show.
Right.
And I think that's where we get our feelings hurt, is we trying to make a show for people to say, oh my God, they had this and that.
Everything is such a show now.
Everything is a show. And I'm not tired. I'm not worn out. I wasn't worn out his prom day. I see people who's worn out but trying to do this. And don't get me wrong, he had an amazing.
Yeah, the pictures was beautiful.
But you don't have to, it's not a show. It wasn't a show for me. It was something to make his day go good for him. But just like his open house and his birthday party, it's for him. And I'm not going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off, because I'm going to enjoy the moment.
But that also comes with planning.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't plan, and then that's why they be running around all crazy, because they don't plan stuff out accordingly.
Yeah. I'm not a planner, but I just believe that I'm going to write down, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Call this person, call that person, you're going to do this, and then on that day, we're going to get together. And if it don't happen that way, oh well, the way it happened was the way it was supposed to happen.
Be. Mm-hmm.
I'm for the.
You're not letting those little things take over.
No.
Because that's what sometimes people will do.
No.
The balloons wasn't this happened, and it's just let
me tell you how God really works for me in my life. Yesterday, you know how people be having like a poster board sign and all that. I was like, man, I should have got a poster of Elijah pictures or whatever. So I called my sister, hey, a sign place. She said, yeah. She sent me to this place. I drive up there because yesterday I did my little driving around, but I wasn't even tired. I drove up there because it's not far from my house, and I go in and I ask the guy, we have an event Saturday. I want to know if I can get this. And he says to me, I'm so full. I don't have time to do anything. He says, I'm so booked from graduations and proms. I said, I understand. And he was like, yeah, he says it's my busiest time of year, so I can't take on anything. I said, I understand. I said, I get it. I said, okay, well, I said, that was my fault. I waited to the last minute. He says to me, unless you just pick something simple, I could do it. I said, what's simple? He told me what was simple. I said, I can do that. He said, okay, I have it ready. And then while you were here today, this man called me and said it's ready. Because it's not for show. It was just like, it'd be nice to have. It'd be nice to have. Mm-hmm. It's about how you go into it. Am I doing this to show off? Or am I doing this to, this would be nice to have it.
Right, because it's a difference to do things to show off for other people, to have people something to talk about.
Yeah.
Versus you just want stuff to be nice because that's just what you want it to be and what it is.
Yeah, I'm not going to go broke to show off. I'm like, oh, and when he said that, I said, that's not what I wanted, but okay, I'll take the simple thing.
Say that one more time. You not gonna what? I'm not gonna go broke.
I'm not gonna go broke to show off. I'm not gonna go broke to show off. I'm still gonna pay my mortgage when it's time. I'm still gonna pay my car note when it's time. I'm still gonna pay my rent for my studio when it's time. And what is within my budget of me taking care and enjoying making my son have a great day is what I'm gonna do. So that's how I am now. Like, what is my intention for this? Is my intention for people to walk in and say, "Oh my God! Did they spend so much money?" And no. My intention is to enjoy the people that come and let my son have a great day. I'm sure I'm going to see people that I haven't seen in a long time. It's really about that. So my intention was, this would be nice to have. This would be nice. And when he said no, I took his no for an answer. I was okay. I was getting ready to walk out. He said, unless you pick something real simple, like real simple. Most people don't want simple.
No. Simple. We don't want simple in this day and age. We want extravagant.
He was like, unless you pick something real simple. I said, what's simple? Show me. He said, I said, that's fine. I can do that. And he looked at me. He said, yeah, because a lot of people want a lot of collages. I said, no. Do what I said, you tell me what you can do. Because I could have drove somewhere else and said, can y'all give me this big thing? Can y'all do it? I said, no, you tell me what you can do. And he said it, and I said, I'll go with that. I said, it's my fault for waiting till the last minute. I said, but I'll take what you can do. And he said, okay. And he got it done, and it's already ready. So I think that whatever our intention, everything about me now is intentional. I try to be intentional about everything, about the hardest things that people may have to deal with. I try to be intentional.
I just like how life is aligning. Yes. I know we touched briefly on that, but I told you how yesterday I texted my friend random that I wanted a bottle of wine, and she brought a bottle of wine over. She shared her location on her way, so I seen like, oh, she was close. So I was just like, let me go outside and bring in Mabel's bow and do my little stuff outside. So I met her in the front yard. Jordan lost his car key. I don't think it might have been almost a week now.
Really?
I can't find my keys. You look here. Yeah, I can't find my keys. So I was just like, maybe if you clean your room up, that's my way of trying to,
clean his room.
And he just like, yeah, whatever. So Jordan, chill. He ain't let that stress him out. I can't find the key. Do you know that key was in the grass? And if I had not walked out there to her car yesterday.
Wow.
I walked out.
And I'm sure he went out there and looked.
Yeah. I walked out and I said, I'll be dang. So Samira was like, what's that? I said, it's Jordan's key. I was like, I wonder how much it's worth to him, because now I want to be like, I found your key. How much money you got? How much it costs? And I just was thinking, like with God's covering.
Yeah.
Because that key to his car that was in our driveway was right in the grass.
Yeah.
And had been there for days. I think it's almost been a week. It might not have been that long, but it's been some days.
Wow.
But I was just so grateful in that moment. Once again, gratefulness. And then I reflected on him and how
his actions
he did not even let that stress him out, because we let so much stuff stress us out, and it was boom, there go the key. He like, I don't even know how I got there in the grass, whatever. But it was just like, okay, got it. Got the key, moved on with his life. But I just was just like, I admire him and the men in my life that's just level-headed.
Yeah. Level-headed. I mean, being level-headed is important. because it's so easy to fly off the handle, men and women. I know, and I know you know, we've been known to fly off quick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like with me being intentional, baby, I have learned to be, well, I'm still learning to be level headed.
I am still learning too, because there's times where I have wanted to explode. And this is what I was going to step into, the other thing that I was going to say, explode and go through the tit for tat type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it was just like, okay, well, if we're not using our words effectively, I'm just going to back and not say anything. Because what is all of this? And I struggle with that tit for tat. And I know as parents, even as friends, family members, whatever, we do that. Like, so it's just like, so when you said that about your son, it's just like, why do we do that? Is that necessary to do? And I feel like in certain situations it is, because I feel like you can be entitled and forget. Because at the end of the day, it's all a cycle and a circle of love.
Yeah.
Like everybody is being used, but it's not where you're used being taken advantage of just for my sole purpose.
Yeah.
Because essentially we need a give and take.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But people need to be mindful that sometimes as a mother, friend, aunt, whatever it is, you have to be mindful of how much you're pouring into that other person.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, okay, I've been tatting, and you just did a tit.
You know what? That tit for tat, that's something that I've dealt with a lot in the last, I would say 6-7 years, because I always felt like I was being the bigger person, and I hated being the bigger person.
Ooh, I talked about that because I feel like our generation was raised on that. I was raised on that. And then to add in with being the bigger person, it was you're the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, so does that mean that I allow, or that other phrase too, you know how so-and-so is. So do I accept them for how they are and me lessen or hide who I am, and who I am and how I feel doesn't matter, like.
I think that that depends on the situation, because of course I've been through a divorce, and I tell my story about this because I want to help other women and men that go through divorce, because I always felt like I was losing. Like, I did nothing wrong, but I was the one that was losing. Like, we go to court, I'm losing. He take me back to court, I lose again. He take me back to court again, I lose again. And it was like, God, I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I losing? Why do I feel like and it was like the lesson was, because you're doing tit for tat. And why are you doing that? It's time for you to be who I called you to be, the bigger person. And I was and not saying he's a smaller person. I'm just saying my lesson,
your role,
my role in it was like, girl, why are I said this before, you're not fighting that person, you're fighting spirits, because both of us had spirits that was just going tit for tat. And once I started coming out of that dark spirit, it was like, oh, I'm not losing. I'm winning. I'm winning because I'm growing. I'm winning because I'm realizing that a bigger person is just a phrase.
And tit for tat means so many different things too, because I even think about this when I was talking about yesterday, how I was just like, I'm learning to receive. I'm learning that you can do this for me and I don't have to do anything back.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, oh, so-and-so told me happy birthday, so I'm going to tell them. Oh, I remember they didn't tell me happy birthday, so I ain't going to post happy birthday on their page.
That's
or
tit for tat.
They didn't make no big post about me, so I'm not doing it for them. Where it's just like, it's so many different things where I'm just really learning to trust myself, and whatever I'm feeling inclined to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
You know, I want to make sure that I'm giving to whoever is in my life. And I don't necessarily mean like I'm bringing you an actual gift, but I do want to do something to show you my token of appreciation for your friendship.
Absolutely.
That's why that little some stuff that I be having, that little makeup that I know I be buying on the impulse. I be like, you know what? I'm not going to use this. I'm going to bring it to Keisha. You're a makeup artist. You're going to use it. So it's just little things where it's just like out of my appreciation, because we decided to do this, but you can make me Uber to do this, and versus picking me up. And that's the thing, to you, it's no big deal. You don't mind doing it. But I know people in my life that would be like, I'm not committing to doing that every week. Even though this is something that we're doing together, to be like, well, this is where we doing it at, so you just need to meet me at this address to do it. It's just so many levels of exchanging between human beings that I'm just like, I don't know if we ever gonna get it right. Let me say this, because this was a big thing, and I thought about you yesterday when we were talking about relationships. And I asked her about, I don't know what I asked her, because I done forgot already.
Your memory is so shot.
I forgot already. But the bottom line, it was about like the whole cheating and being together. And she said the same thing that you said, because I said that I didn't necessarily want to put my parents on blast because their business is theirs, and I don't know all the intricate details. But what I do know is they got divorced. So something led to that. And she had the same thing where it was just like, when it's your person, you just want your person.
Yeah. And you don't
And I thought about that even in different levels with friendship, because we don't do a tit for tat. But you may have done that with your son, and I do it with mine, because it's just like, we want to feel appreciated. We want you to recognize the sacrifices that we are doing out of love. Because being a spoiled child comes on different levels. Everybody think being spoiled is having material things. I was spoiled. You were spoiled. I was not a brat. How you talk about, your childhood was great. I'm not never saying that. I don't feel that way. But I had everything that I wanted. So I grew up spoiled, but I was never a brat. But I know to this day that I know my parents know that I appreciated them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I know that they did the best that they could at that time with what they were given. It's just now that I'm older, I know that it's certain things that I wish I could have had from them. Just like it's certain things that I wish that I could have done for Jordan, but I didn't know any better. But I still appreciate my parents so much. And it's just, let somebody know that they appreciate it. That goes so far. It's just like,
do you tell your father you appreciate him?
Yes, and it's uncomfortable as fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Because how does he receive it?
Okay.
That's what he say?
Yeah.
Oh, he's so uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's what I don't want our generation of our children to have, that awkwardness of telling how you feel or showing how you feel, because I didn't start telling my mom I love her till she was in a wheelchair.
We talked about this yesterday, because I was asking her, like, how are you with, because I I tell Jordan I love you maybe 50 times a day.
Really?
Yeah, I'm over the top.
I didn't know that. I tell my kids every day.
Yeah, I can be
but
like,
not.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm about to go do the podcast. I love you. I get back home. Hey, Jordan, I'm home. I love you. I text him on my way. I'm on my way home. Do you want something? I love you. Like I say, I love you. Like,
But wait, I don't think that's over the top because I have 3 clients that's sisters. They're very close. I do all 3 of them makeup. And each time they don't ever come together. But each time I've been in the company of each one of them, and they've been on the phone with not just each other or somebody in their family, before they hang up, they say, I love you, bye. And I said to them, I said this to all of them probably, like, I wish I had that. I wish I had somebody.
sorry, it's coming.
I wish I had somebody who really, really loved me, and I know they love me. Like Jordan, know you. He know you not just saying it.
Yeah. And
He
when I was talking
knows
about, because
you.
I was just like, I
You love
said so
him.
much, and it's funny because I still get him birthday cards. I don't put nothing in it, but I still get the cards. I got 2 cards because one was just like, I know I say I love you all the time, but it was just like, I just want you to know that, like, I do love you and I mean it. And I was just like, oh, this is so cute. Like, it fit me. So I had got that in another little, the little deep cards. But yeah, me and my mother said I love you all the time to each other every day.
Wow.
I don't even remember at what point in my life that it started because it was just so natural and normal for us. But me and my dad, like, I love you too. Mm-mm.
Yeah, they say.
That's foreign
I
too.
told them. I said I'm going to start saying that to people in my family now. I do say it to my children. I type them messages when they will leave for school and stuff, and I will say when I drop them off, I will always tell them a message, and then I will tell them I love you. Um, but I told them, I said the sisters, I said I want to start saying it to my sister and my father. And I said, but it's so uncomfortable to me because our family was not that affectionate, which is why I'm trying to break that curse with my children, and my nephews to say, I love you.
Yeah, because I think about like my nieces and stuff. I can't really think about the middle one, but the youngest one, she says it. Like, I love you. She hugs me. She doesn't know I heard her and she ain't gonna watch it because she's a little kid. But I was asleep the other morning and she came in there and said, TT, I love you. I hope you have a good day. If you can hear me. Because I was asleep.
Oh, you heard her?
But I heard her, or when she thought I was asleep, I was woke. But I didn't even move because it was just like, I thought it was so sweet that it was a moment that I just wanted to cherish and hold in my heart. Like, she thought about me before she went to school and came and was just like, I love you, have a good day. She like, if you hear me, and I'm thinking, girl, I hear you, I love you too. But then like my oldest niece, I've always said, I love you. And she's only said, I love you too. For her too, it's uncomfortable to say it first. And like, they're not really like, touchy feely with the hugs. Like, I tell Jordan, like, let me get a hug. I don't do it too often because I think it might be, I don't know if it's weird for him or not now that I think about it. But like the affection or how I see the kids on TV where they holding they like, what?
It's so crazy. Now that we're talking about this, I have a few clients, very few, maybe like 3 that I can remember off the top of my head. And Millie is one that before they leave me, they say, I love you. And I know they mean it. I have another kind of client, Crystal, who I think watch Hey Girl, who every time she leave me, she's like, okay, girl, I love you, and hug me. And I know that they mean it for real. And it's crazy that it's people that you can meet that can express they love you. These are not people that you hang out with. These are not people that, but Crystal for sure, when she hugged me and say, I love you, I know she mean it. And I just be like, man, I want to be that person that can tell the people that I love you. and then not feel
awkward.
Because it feels awkward because I wasn't raised to be that way.
I say it to some of my friends. I don't say it all the time.
We ain't never told each other I love you. No. But I think it's automatically known, like, that's my girl. I love her.
Yeah, but it's not awkward for me to say it. It's only awkward for me to say it to my dad.
You need to deal with that.
But anybody else, it's not awkward at me at all. And I'm not even gonna say it's awkward for me. I know it's awkward for him.
So which makes it awkward for you.
Yeah, so it's like I don't want to make him uncomfortable. Because I just be like, oh my God, I just love my daddy so much. And he'll just probably look at me like, girl, if you don't go home somewhere with that.
And again, because my mother passed, it's like I think about that. Like, did I tell her I love her enough? Or maybe me just showing her wasn't enough.
It's very important for me, for the people that are in my life, that are supposed to be in my life, emphasis and heavy on that they know that I love them. Because one thing about my love, I don't turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I love you, I genuinely love you. Things can happen and you can hurt my feelings and I may hurt your feelings. But if I love you, I love you. But I'm not going to be no damn fool for nobody. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, oh, because she loves me,
she's going to be a fool for me.
And I can do this, back to the manipulation and the narcissistic
attitude. That's a whole nother conversation we can't go into.
Okay, we're at an hour.
But that might be a to be continued, because that's for real. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that.
Because I don't want anybody to take advantage
of my love. Yeah.
Especially when you know, like, oh, I know she loved me.
Like, yeah. Okay. And
I do.
That's definitely happened to me in my people pleaser moment. So that's gonna be to be continued conversation, because that go along with the narcissism we were talking about. And I hate to talk about narcissism because people will always say, oh, he a narcissist, she a narcissist, but we gonna have to talk about it. We're gonna have to talk about it. So hey, listen, we talked about our children today, mostly.
Yeah.
Because we proud of our sons and my daughter.
Today's my dad's birthday, so I'm about to go make him uncomfortable. And I got this card that's like, I love you, and it got a Bible verse in it. Girl, I'm about to hit all the nerves today. Okay.
He gonna be looking at you like, okay. all right. Do you take him a cake or something? Does he eat sweets or no?
No, he don't even celebrate. So this about to be extra uncomfortable. Yeah. I shouldn't say it's going to be extra uncomfortable, because it's not. I'm going to go over there and it's going to be just like any other day. We going to sit and shoot the shit like we normally do. Maybe even sit on the porch, whatever. But that part about it, of me wanting to pour into him, because my daddy turning 79.
Wow. Is he?
Yeah. So
he looks so good.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Slow it down.
Her daddy fine.
Slow it down. Let's wrap this up.
That's why she said that, because you know he is handsome.
I know.
He is one of them that, I'm sorry to tell you this, friend. He's one of them daddies that young ladies will be like, yeah. I ain't never looked at him like that.
I understand. I want y'all to know I carry.
Your daddy's 79?
Yes. So it's just like,
he got that.
I know what's happening. Look, we about to switch it back. So it's just like, I just want him to know how much I love and appreciate him.
Yeah.
And how far our relationship has come, because it's done a drastic change even before my mother passed away, because he is one of the closest people in my life that I talk to about critical decisions and stuff.
And he helped you make critical decisions. And one thing we can say about our fathers, and I'll close on this, because that might be another topic too. When you got a daddy that's been there for you,
listen,
and then you realize you get relationships with people that don't be there for you, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard. So happy birthday to Banks. Happy birthday.
It's just too much.
Listen, we want y'all to like, subscribe, most importantly, listen and share. Again, I always say this, you don't have to sit here and watch us. You ain't got to sit here and watch. Plug it into your car, tune it into your house, share it with somebody. And we're going to be having another special guest soon. We hope y'all enjoyed our special guest. But right now,
I enjoy Millie.
Yes. We're going to, leave it in the comments if you have other topics you want us to discuss. And, we'll look at them. And as long as they go along with our platform, we'll talk about it. Ain't that right?
That's right.
Anything else?
Girl.
All right. We will see you all next week.